Issa and Molly. This was the block party episode. We've been waiting for the block party episode, and it was a roller coaster. I can say that. It was a roller coaster. What were your overall thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, to me, everything was cruising. Everything looked like it was going to be in the up and up until the last 5 minutes of the episode.
Exactly. This was, I mean, I also, like, there were a couple times where I checked the time because it felt like a really long episode. There were so many different things that happened. And I was like, dang, like, it was a good thing. I feel like we got, like, a lot all in, you know, kind of, because it's a short time. The episodes are supposed to be short. And there was a lot going on. Okay, let's just jump right into it. The beginning of the episode started with the teaser that we got from the very beginning of the season. The whole, like, I don't mess with Molly anymore. And I guess it wasn't the beginning of the episode. It was close to the beginning, though. It was her. She sent the Toxic Hall of Fame Instagram DM. What are you doing now? It's like in the top 10.
You know,
Issa's not the toxic person in this situation, but it is like a form of, hey, big head.
Issa, fast forward to the end of the episode and we'll get to it. That text made Issa a little bit toxic.
She reached out to a guy who had been reaching out to her.
But what were her intentions?
So,
your intentions weren't just to pure. It was sort of a future-esque intentions. No, your intentions was to get something out of him as opposed to sort of get back to him or give him what he thought was happening.
I don't know if I would say that she was just like using him, like reaching out, because he had reached out to her on 2 occasions before this. And there was a little bit of like a twinkle in her eye. She was like, okay, like I don't think it was just about the Live Nation Connect. I think he is not totally out of her head. She's obviously not totally out of his. And I don't know. I see how you can see it that way, but that's the first time I'm thinking of it like that.
Yeah, I don't know if she gets back if she doesn't need some type of connect. And either way, like,
you really think so?
No, I don't. Okay,
all right.
But either way, it's like, why are you hitting him up at this time of night? Like, what we doing?
Because he's fine.
The most toxic individual in the world, and you just going right back to it. Like, don't play the.
He's bored. He's fine. I mean, it happens. Players mess up.
Don't be a sucker.
I mean, it happens. It happens.
I mean, the first thing I thought was, okay, like, you know, this is why toxic dudes continue to be toxic.
No, right. They're for everybody. That's what I always say. They are for everybody. It's up to you to not stick around.
But their toxic behavior wins.
Yeah. That's the purpose. Okay, let's just get right to the end, and then we can pick up all these little bitty bits.
Oh, before we get to the end, we got to talk about the gondola part too.
And that's what I'm saying. Let's pick all those things up after we get to, because everything is going to have something that alludes to the end. So let's just get right to it.
Okay.
It looked like things were on the up and up with Issa and Molly. Like, obviously, they were both kind of annoyed. Molly was the one who was going to, like, be like the whole like olive branch carrier. She brought the food to Issa. Issa kind of softened up. Later on, they're doing the wobble. Issa was still stank face, and they looked at each other and they had a moment, and it was like, you know what, we're friends. Like, this is nice. It made me smile. It was nice. They were high-fiving at the end. Everything was good. I mean, obviously, their friendship was still in a space that needed a discussion, but they were no longer, at least for those 5 minutes, like seething. Just full of anger, just being in the other's presence. And so that was nice until the end of the episode. So basically, Molly finds out that Andrew helped Issa, but instead of through Molly, it went through his roommate, Nathan. Molly was just just full of rage, and she felt like she needed to go and step to Issa about this in the middle of the block party, like at what was her job at this point, something that has been really important to her. And I think
Yeah, at the end. At the end.
It was only the end because somebody saw a gun.
But you know, it was towards the night. People were leaving.
People were leaving. It it okay, so here's the thing. The reason I'm like not Team Molly on this is because one, like that's kind of like there are things that you do in a friendship that are friendship ending. In a like this is not some like reality TV fight where it's like everybody hates everybody from the beginning and they don't care if everybody hates everybody in the end. This is a show, they're supposed to be friends, they're supposed to be best friends, each other's best friend. And you have to be able to like express being upset with somebody without like burning everything to the ground. Like, how do you come back from putting Issa in that position at her job? Also, it just reminds me of so much of the dynamics of their relationships where Molly just does not have respect for Issa in any aspect of, she just doesn't think Issa's as good as her. Because thinking about the opposite and how Molly would lose her mind had Issa done this at the law firm, that's frustrating. And also, I was on Molly's side when it seemed like she didn't want to press Andrew because their relationship was new and she had been messing up and she just didn't feel comfortable. But it turns out that it seems like she just didn't want to help Issa. Because what is there to be mad about? I think it would have been, if Molly was a great friend, she would have been like, listen, I'm a little uncomfortable. Like, I just messed up. Why don't you ask Nathan to ask him? I don't know. That just seems like their relationship, like something that she would do if it was just based on her not feeling comfortable, like pressing Andrew about doing a favor at the space that they were in. But I don't know. She seemed irrationally mad that Issa had gone behind her back.
I think it's complex. Like, first of all, I think every episode, the entire season, Molly and Issa have been messy and messing up. It's just who's doing the most.
Right.
Like who's winning the messy wars? Like that's what it's been like. Who's been worse at this entire situation, right? Every episode, I think both of them have been wrong.
But this episode too?
Yes, but one worse than the other.
Okay. Who was worse this episode?
Molly by far. Molly.
And what did Issa do wrong this episode?
Molly went off the rail. Like, we got to be honest, right? Like, if we really look at this thing, like, Issa, they say, oh, Issa, I didn't go through you. I went through somebody else to leave you out of it. But if we keeping it a buck, the reason Andrew did this favor for you is because you're Molly's best friend. Or so he thought. It wasn't.
It's a little bit about Nathan too. Nathan likes Issa.
No,
it was a little bit about Nathan.
Nathan, as a man, think about this. If Nathan's my friend, right? And he go, yo, this girl I occasionally mess with, she needs a favor. Can you hook me up from your job? I ain't gonna be like, yeah, sure. I'd be like, come on, dog. That's just some girl you talking to.
I don't know because
at least give me some details and maybe I could work some things out. But the fact that you are Molly's best friend makes me go, got you. I'll do whatever I need to do. Like, she got that favor on partly on the strength that you're Molly's best friend.
It wasn't that big of a favor, though.
Mind you, in the beginning of the episode, you said, yo, I don't F with her no more. So you said you don't F with her no more, but you still got a favor partly because you're her best friend. So that's why it's a little bit shady, and you knew that.
So I respect that. Like, don't ask, if you don't mess with me, don't in a roundabout way ask my man to do something for you. I respect that totally. I still also think that Andrew would have done this favor anyway, because it's not like Vince did it for free. He was able to put connections together so somebody under his company's umbrella could get paid to do something. So I think it's a favor that he would have helped if Nathan said, hey, this is just my random homegirl. Could you just look into it? I don't think.
Yeah, but think about this.
I get what you're saying.
Some things would have been like, Brooke, if you go, yo, Sean, my homegirl is doing something. Can you, through your job, hook it up? I'm gonna be like, all right, I'll take a look at it. Send me the details, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
But if you then go, yo, my homegirl, who is also your brother's or your friend's girlfriend, I'm like, oh, I'm getting it done. Like,
Okay, I
there's
see what
no
you're saying.
details. There's no. I'm
Saying.
like, yo, even if the party is something that maybe, yes, it's gonna pay him, but it's a little beneath my artist,
For sure, right.
or it's especially Vince Staples, it's
Yeah,
maybe
for
a little
sure.
beneath my artist, or the money isn't quite at what he wants. But because I'm saying, yo, Vince, yo, squad, these are really great people. It'd be a solid for me. It's my homegirl's best friend. Like, yo, then it's an extra oomph to get something done.
I
So,
respect that. No,
so
you're
you
right.
say, yo, you not my best. That's not my best friend. I don't F with her, but you still got the favor partly because of that. Like, you knew what you was doing. You was wrong for that. And
No, you're right.
somebody on Twitter said, that's like, and it's not the same thing, but I thought it was funny. They was like, that's like you ask your mother for something. She say no, and then you go get it from your father.
Okay,
Like,
Jamel Hill said
like,
that.
hold up.
This is a very bad analogy because Molly is not Issa's mother.
I know. I'm just saying.
Your mother is allowed to tell you no because that's what parenting is. Sometimes, like, you know what's best for your kid.
I know.
Molly was telling Issa no as a friend because she was mad at Issa and she just didn't want to help her. She didn't want to help her succeed.
I didn't think it want to help her. Like you said before, like, yo, it was like, I think everything was about the principles. Like, it's not even that my man helped
Which
you.
are
The principle
stupid
is
sometimes.
you snuck around. And
no,
we
but Molly didn't want to help her.
Beefing and we was friends. Like, she said yes for a reason, then was like, you even agreed it may have been bad for the relationship.
Right, but I realize now, seeing how she reacted, that it had nothing to do with her and Andrew. She just didn't want to help Issa. She didn't. She was mad at Issa and wanted to get back at her that way. Listen, the things have to go both ways. If Issa's shady for going behind Molly's back, when I think Issa's real motivation was just her business at that point.
Oh,
that was her motivation. It wasn't malicious based on her relationship with Molly. And I think with the fact that Molly was so angry that she wanted to press Issa at the event tells me that she just didn't want Issa to get the help from anything that had anything to do with her.
I think you'll see next episode,
right,
that Molly feels bad about how she reacted. I think Molly was already beef on her, and the fact that she felt like you then did something sneaky, and because she's so insecure in her relationship,
right,
that she felt like you did something behind my back that could have cost me this relationship. So now she's exploding because she has insecurities and doesn't know how to deal with real relationships.
Yeah,
so I think that's why she exploded. I think even at the end, when you saw Andrew go, yo, like, I didn't think it was an issue, and then at the end, and then she buries her head in his chest, she sort of, and maybe I'm just reading into it, like her reaction is I just effed up, like, I'm just going through it. Because she doesn't know how to deal. Like, I think she's been progressing, in my opinion, throughout this entire season of who she is dealing in Molly in relationships.
Oh, romantically, like, for sure.
Romantically progressing. I even think, she was progressing through the episode of saying, because Andrew's good for her. When Andrew was like, you see, she was doing all this for work. You know how you are with work. And that's when she got it in her head, like, you know what? I've been tripping.
Yeah.
I've been tripping. Let me go try to have an olive branch for her.
For somebody who, let me just tell you, her coming to Andrew being like, hey, I know we're just kind of like just getting back into a good place, but would you help Issa with this? I feel like that would have fared better than acting an absolute fool and embarrassing everybody like that in front of like, I don't know.
But everything's different.
She's not worried about Andrew. She just didn't want to mess with Issa. She didn't want to help Issa.
I didn't think so. Everything's different if they're not beefing. Issa didn't consider her a friend. Remember that.
Everything is not, but that's the thing. Everything is not different if they're not beefing, because somebody on Twitter is rewatching from season 1. Molly has always been a really bad friend to Issa. Been like kind of reprimanding, not really respecting her, thinking I don't think everything would be different. I don't know. I
think if they communicate things a little bit different, or at least Issa understands her.
Because so you're a little team Molly.
When they were
team Molly after this, I feel it. I hear it. I hear it in your voice. You're a little team Molly, even after she acted a fool like that.
No, Molly's dead wrong. Like I said it, Molly's dead wrong for reacting that way.
Uh-huh.
I just don't think she's as evil as a person as most people view her to be. And I also feel like most people give, because we like Issa and her character,
For sure.
way too many passes.
I'll respect that. You know what? I don't think Molly's evil either. I think Molly's insecurities cause her to behave in ways that are awful to the people around her.
Yeah. And
I
let me
think that,
let me ask you this, and maybe
okay.
this is maybe why I could be team Molly sometimes, like, because this was something, like you said, everybody was talking about on Twitter. If you have a friend or somebody who is always effing up in a certain way,
Uh-huh.
do you not sometimes just expect it? Like, yo, here's so and so go again. Like here's so going again when it comes to relationships, or it comes to like the same thing with this relationship. Like, because Issa's been giving Molly bad advice, in my opinion, relationship wise.
Yes,
So
she
every
has.
time Molly would ask Issa would sort of do the same thing that Molly does to Issa professionally.
For
Issa would
sure.
do yo, you messing it up again. You always doing too much. You want drama, even when Molly was right.
Yeah, but I think their judgments on both of each other's like personal, professional lives, I think that they're flawed. I think their judgments aren't fair. So I don't think it's fair for either of them to say that Molly always messes up in relationships, so you can't expect her to do right, or Issa always messes up just in all aspects of life, so you can't expect her to do right. I think that there's nuanced situations.
No, I agree with you. I'm just going
You know,
into their mindset. I think
yeah, so
Molly
it's
always
wrong.
thinks Issa messes up professionally, and Issa always thinks Molly messes up with relationships, and they
Molly
treat
also
them as
thinks
such.
Issa messes up with relationships, and she talks down to her in that way too.
It's true.
Lawrence, Daniel. Do you know what somebody pointed out? Do you remember when Issa freestyled about Molly's vagina in the middle of a crowded bar?
Mm-hmm.
How are they able to bounce back so quickly from that? That's a friendship ending betrayal, okay?
But see, that's why I'm looking at, like, everybody's like, Molly's been a bad friend from the start. I'm like,
They've both been really raggedy, you're
Issa
right.
hasn't been the best of friends either. Like, they've both been Ali, just like, and it's all about, a lot of it is just about miscommunication too, but
Right.
like, they haven't been best, like, they haven't been good friends to each other.
No, I feel you. Okay, so I think we're generally on the same page. We're nitpicking little pieces here and there, but we're generally on the same page. It was not the right time and place. It also, I would have rather, if we're not in a place where you feel like you can comfortably like communicate with me about my man, then we're probably not in a place where you can go and finagle a way to get a favor out of my man. So I can respect that. I also, I don't think the favor was that big of a deal, but I also get how it can be like weird.
I agree with you too. I just think there was so much beef prior that it was the cherry on top.
Right, like
That's
it's
the
going to
thing
cause
that makes you
drama. Yeah,
explode.
because you should be able to say like, look, do you care if I ask Nathan to ask him? So it'll be a favor for me. And then honestly, in that, I would have been like, you know what? Let me just ask him. You're right. It's not that big of a deal. Like, let me help you. Like, maybe I'm overthinking how he would react, but I think he would be fine. If Nathan came to him, let me just ask. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It could have squashed the whole thing, but they weren't in a place like that. And so I don't know. We agree. Let's move on to the other stuff, because I like the fact that I was right about Condola.
I still
Saw
disagree.
that, and I wanted to text you. I was right.
I still
She was
disagree.
ignoring Issa based on Lawrence. It wasn't that she was just busy for the day. She was in a weird space with Lawrence. She didn't want to talk to Issa.
But from my understanding,
Mm-hmm.
and you're right, she was sort of ignoring her.
Because that's what I was right about. Yeah, that's what I was right about.
She definitely did. But things are awkward. But I feel like I can't kill Condola because she still got everything done for Issa's event. Like, as friendships, it got weird, but she said, okay, still got your flyers. I made sure everybody was here for your event. I made sure everything was good. And now, because I'm weird, I'm going to split. And I could respect that. Like, yo,
I can't respect it.
help me out with my business, and then you could bounce. Like, you didn't leave me flat with my professional stuff.
I get that, but you still have to communicate with me just out of respect. And Issa, I think the fact that Issa could like just sit on her feelings because of how much she likes Condola and eat a bunch of really painful conversations, a painful moment at the restaurant because she respected her relationship with Condola. I think it's only fair to just give her that. She liked Condola. She liked her.
Did she like Condola, or did she want to get her event done?
No, I think she liked Condola.
No,
I think that's why she invited Condola to the little dinner with Molly. I think she liked her. I think she's expressed on multiple occasions that like she wants to be friends with her. She likes her.
Yes, but
it wasn't just about the event. And I think Condola could have hit her up and say, listen, me and Lawrence broke up. Things are weird. I'm not good at this. I'm going to get everything done on my end, but I need some space. Because we're adults.
I guess that's fine.
Ignoring me and getting everything done in silence is stressful. And I think Issa deserved a little more respect than that.
I guess that's fine, but it's just kind of like, we've only known each other for a cup of tea, so I don't really have to do anything. I just have to professionally help you out. And even my professional help isn't paying me. It's a courtesy.
I mean, but everything isn't about the law and money. Be a good person. And in that moment, just communication would have been about, regardless of how much money you weren't making, regardless of what your free time is worth, regardless of how much you've known somebody, just reaching out and saying, hey, I need some space. I'm going to get this done. And communicating, it's a simple way to just treat another human being with respect.
I guess.
I don't know.
I guess. As long as you got it done professionally. I think Issa has done, and Molly was a little bit right on this.
Okay.
Using everybody to get her ish done.
Oh, I don't think Issa's a user at all. I don't think Issa is a user at all. I have not seen any instance over any aspect of any season, any episode that Issa is a user.
Yo, because she used Nathan to get that Live Nation connect.
She likes him. They slept together. She likes him. She asked him for a favor.
She know he a F-boy. She only hit him up and asked him. She used that. Like, she used, use that connect with Molly and that favor to be like, yo, I got that connect to get Vince Staples. Like, she was used. And don't get me wrong. To me, even though I feel like she used, I would have done the same thing. Her professional career was on the line. Do whatever you need to do to get it done.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that it wasn't a little usy.
All right. What else happened? Oh, I want to know why Ahmad and Kelly don't get along. Wait, that's Issa's brother's name, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just one of those funny, quirky things.
Yeah, but Prentice said on Twitter that there's, like, he alluded to there's a reason.
Oh, then maybe they'll have that.
Yeah, maybe we'll
I don't remember any episode. And then let me say this. I'm waiting.
For what?
Remember when I was telling you about how I want Lawrence to have his character to be a little more in depth?
Uh-huh.
And I think Dave gave touches of that in this season.
The show is not about him. We're getting a little more.
I really want to see who Kelly is. Like, not just like, I think she's just been the funny friend, but everyone has insecurities. Like, what's her real insecurity? What's her life like? Like, I can't wait, and I think they will, until they go a few scenes in depth of who she is, because she's the funniest thing on the show.
You know how, like, Master of None did that Thanksgiving episode, and it was about Denise and her family just kind of for, like, a breakaway? I would love something like that about Kelly. Yep. Honestly, Kelly, Chad, Thug Yoda. There's so many great characters that are not, like, the two characters that the show is really focused on. Mm-hmm. That's just how good this show is. That's why we like it so much. That people that we... Huh?
Yeah, no, keep going.
Just people that we don't see as much as the two main characters we are so into. I cheered when Thug Yoda popped up. He's funny. Yeah. It's funny. I get excited every time we just get a snippet of Chad. He is my favorite character. He is so funny.
Yeah. Chad's an idiot. He's funny.
It is funny.
And the last thing I'll say is I really enjoyed them showing how hard it is for Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany's struggling, yeah.
Like,
I also don't think anybody has pinpointed that yet. Like, has realized it yet.
No, because like, you know, I'm a new father myself, somewhat new, and it's just kind of like, yo, it's rough, but no one talks about it.
Wait, do we get to talk about the young prince on here? What?
No. That's just a snippet. You know what I mean?
A little snippet. Okay.
Maybe another day, but like, it's a struggle, right? And I enjoyed seeing that real life, and no one else is going to notice her struggle because all her friends are single.
Right.
So they can't necessarily pinpoint it, or, you know, they had the conversation at her house, but they're not like, they're all into their own lives where they can't see like, yo, like, is she struggling? Like, so it's just, I think it's nice to have a glimpse into that, because in real life, everyone just sort of ignores it.
Yeah. Are they married? Are they married?
So, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he can fully tell yet, at least from what we've seen. I think everybody generally understands that this is not easy. Having a newborn is not easy. But I don't, the show hasn't acknowledged any of the other characters realizing that she is like deeply struggling.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
No,
I want to see more about that for sure.
And it seems like they're developing that. They developed that over the last couple episodes. So I think they're definitely going to go somewhere where it goes into depth about the struggle. And even, I forgot her husband's name. Even when she was talking to Lawrence and was like, yo, this joint is tough. Like, you know, so I think they're going to get into that more. So I'm going to enjoy that part too.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up that I can't, I love Issa's brother. I loved how he was having fun with Tiffany. Oh yes, of course there's more. Kelly spoke in a fake British accent for half the episode.
And then said she from Philly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I didn't even know she was from Philly. So
neither did I. It's great. It makes sense too.
Yeah, just more Kelly hilarity. That's what I want. I want more Kelly all the time.
Anything else? I feel like the whole episode was like a big build-up to the end.
Yeah, I think everything was just cool and chill until the last 5 minutes.
Okay, one more time. You really just do not think Issa likes that guy. What is his name? Why can't I remember his character's name? Nathan, yes. I know it's the actor's name.
I think she has some affection for, like, some like for him. I just think she knows he's not, he ain't-ish dude. I think she knows it, but in her head, she's like, I'm bored and not really messing with somebody, so I'll respond to a call. Or I need something, so let me go use him, right? Like, but I think she fully knows, like, that ain't a place that she's trying to go.
All right. Well, that's it. Wraps up the block party episode. We've been waiting for it all season, and that just marks we're at like the
midway point, I think.
Yeah. So a lot more show to go.
The fall
review. Yeah. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Also, check out both of our podcasts. I'll link them below. And yeah, thanks for watching.